Join me as I dive into the surprising details about Bishop Marvin Winans at 67 and see if I can uncover the truth behind the rumors. Bishop Marvin Winans is a name synonymous with gospel music and spiritual leadership. As a renowned pastor, singer, and songwriter, he's touched the lives of millions through his work with the Winans family and as a solo artist. His influence extends far beyond the pulpit, with a legacy that has shaped the sound of contemporary gospel music. From sold-out concerts to chart-topping hits, Bishop Winans has been a beacon of hope and inspiration to countless fans around the world. Imagine a pastor so revered that people whisper his name like a sacred title. Yet behind the stained glass windows, a far darker belief quietly grows. A belief that he isn't just chosen by God, but somehow equal to him. For years, rumors circled around Bishop Marvin Winans, whispers of unchecked authority, spiritual superiority, and a church structure built more like a kingdom than a ministry. But now the truth is finally breaking open, and what insiders are revealing about his behavior has church members across America asking one terrifying question: has Bishop Marvin Winans begun to see himself as God on earth? For decades, Bishop Marvin Winans stood as a towering figure in American gospel culture, a voice of excellence, a name wrapped in legacy, and a leader many trusted without question. But behind his polished sermons and flawless public image, a different story has been unfolding, one that longtime members, former staff, and even fellow pastors have quietly whispered about, but never dared to say out loud. Today we're pulling back the curtain on the growing controversy surrounding Bishop Marvin Winans, the accusations of spiritual arrogance, the claims of controlling leadership, and the shocking statements that insiders say crossed a line no pastor should ever approach, because what started as harmless confidence slowly evolved into something else, something followers describe as untouchable, unyielding, and dangerously self-exalted. And you won't believe what people close to him say happened behind closed doors. This is where it gets unbelievable. As we break this down, remember, this isn't about hate, gossip, or tearing people down. This is about truth, accountability, and the spiritual safety of the people who trusted him the most. So let's begin with the moment everything changed. The moment that made even his most loyal supporters pause and say, wait, did he really just claim that? For years, Bishop Marvin Winans carried himself with the confidence of a leader who knew exactly who he was. In the eyes of many, he had earned it. Decades of ministry, a powerful family, legacy, a gospel empire built on discipline and excellence. But according to several longtime members, that confidence slowly began to evolve into something heavier, something that made people in the pews shift uncomfortably. It started with one sermon. The sanctuary was full, the live stream numbers were climbing, and the energy in the room felt electric. Winans stepped up to the pulpit with his usual composure, but witnesses say this message was different. He spoke of authority, divine assignment, and what he described as the unique calling on his life. At first, it sounded like a typical message of empowerment until he made a statement that left an entire row of members staring at each other in disbelief. One former attendee recalls that moment vividly. The way he said it, it wasn't metaphorical, it wasn't symbolic. It sounded like he was placing himself on a level no pastor should ever touch. According to them, the tone shifted, the room stiffened, and people who had been nodding along suddenly froze. Another member said they felt something snap inside the church that day, something they described as the beginning of a new atmosphere where questioning leadership felt dangerous and disagreeing felt almost sinful. Some brushed it off as bold preaching, others saw it as the first sign of a deeper growing issue. But whether you believe the man meant it literally or not, one thing was certain: that sermon planted a seed of fear, confusion, and suspicion, and it didn't take long for it to grow. And if that moment rattled the sanctuary, what came next would shake the entire church culture around him. In every major ministry, there comes a moment when people begin to notice a change, subtle at first, almost invisible to the untrained eye, but undeniable to those who've watched closely for years. With Bishop Marvin Winans, many longtime observers say that moment came not with one sermon but with a gradual shift in his leadership tone. Online discussions, former members' interviews, and church watch analysts all described something similar, a transformation in the atmosphere around him, not overnight, but slowly, like a shadow inching across the stage. Bishop Marvin Winans has recently found himself at the center of a controversy that has left many in the church community stunned. At 67 years old, he's faced a situation that has led some to say he's been exposed. The incident in question has sparked heated debates and raised questions about his leadership and character. As a respected figure in the church, the news has sent shockwaves through the community, leaving many to wonder what really happened. The incident has also sparked a wider conversation about accountability and transparency in church leadership. The details surrounding the incident are complex and multifaceted. Reactions from the congregation have been mixed, with some defending Bishop Winans and others expressing disappointment. The media has also weighed in, with various outlets offering their take on the situation. As the story continues to unfold, it's clear that the implications will be far-reaching, impacting not only Bishop Winans' reputation, but also the church community as a whole. The incident has highlighted the need for greater transparency and accountability in church leadership. The incident has also raised questions about the church's response to allegations of misconduct. Some have criticized the church for not doing enough to address the issue, while others have praised the church for taking swift action. As the investigation continues, it's clear that the truth will be revealed in time. The church community is eagerly awaiting a resolution to the situation, hoping that justice will be served. The most shocking moment came when certain allegations against Bishop Winans were made public. This pivotal moment captured the audience's attention and changed the narrative, leaving many to question how such a situation could occur. The allegations have sent shockwaves through the church community, with many calling for greater accountability from church leaders. The incident has also sparked a wider conversation about the need for greater transparency and accountability in church leadership. In conclusion, the incident involving Bishop Marvin Winans at 67 has sparked a necessary conversation about leadership, accountability, and the church community. As we reflect on the key points discussed, it's clear that this incident will have far-reaching implications for Bishop Winans and the church as a whole. If you're still trying to process everything that's happened, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. For more insights into this story and others like it, be sure to check out our related video on the challenges facing modern church leadership. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.